Hey everybody, welcome back to Mrs. Wizard's Way, and it's grilling season. I've got the thing you need. It's so easy to make. Let's get started. So it's summer after all, and when you're grilling, you always need tons of stuff. You're like, how do I get all this out from the kitchen to the patio to start grilling, or even just to take your lunch over and eat outside? Well, you're always sitting there fumbling and everything. It's such a mess, and I've got the easiest solution for you. I actually made this one last year, and it's just a simple tray and a pen holder. That's it. It's just simple as can be. Bought the tray off a marketplace, super cheap. The cup holder, well, it's a cup holder now, but it was a pencil holder to begin with. My kids got this for me for like a birthday or whatnot. And well, I appropriated it. This is so easy. I remember as a little kid going to the buffet. That's where mom and dad always wanted to get. So we'd order our food and we have to take a tray back. And as a little kid, I never remember spilling anything. Well, a few drops of my beverage maybe, but nothing damaging, like the plate goes flying or the drink goes onto my food. There was always such a, walking. This makes it so much easier. I can easily just, I set my lunch here, I put my drink in here, and watch, I'm gonna just use this as an example, but even if I'm walking, it's still standing upright. Yeah, it works so nice. It's not gonna spill. It makes life so easy, and it's so easy to make. So let me show you all you're gonna need. So I made a trip to my local Goodwill, and I found, I think it's probably for like dishes, for spoons and whatnot when you're washing them. Came pre-holed and everything. Got it for $1.99, half off, so I got it for 99 cents. And then I got this really simple tray for $5. So I'm into this for $6. And that's about all I'm gonna be into it for this project, because I have everything else at home. Get the sticker off. I'm gonna use a little bit of Goo Gone, let that stuff set for a while. Love this stuff. Gets rid of everything. Actually, I got oil on my clothes the other day at the shop, sprayed that on there, let it soak and scrub for a while, came off. This guy, he just peeled off. So ready to go. It's not gonna be hard. I promise you guys can do this at home, easy. So one thing I have is I have my handy dandy little drilling into piece of wood. So it's well loved. I've used this a lot. So it makes it to where I can't actually hurt the, well, in this case, the stone beneath it. Let's get this out of the way as he's soaking off that sticker. So I'm gonna turn him upside down. Got a drill, just a drill bit, nothing fancy. And all I'm gonna do is carefully, I'm gonna try and do this in the very center, because if you don't do it in the very center, because I could easily use one of these pre-done holes, by the way. And you don't have to use anything like this. Do you happen to have an old tin around the house? Like a decorative tin? It needs to be something either plastic or metal. Glass you can't drill into because you gotta put a hole in it. I think glass is a little dangerous. Plus, if accidents happen, you don't really want broken glass anywhere. So we need to be in the very center, because if I put it here and it were to spin, it would kind of go in a weird pattern. So there we go. And I'm pretty close to the center. Now, obviously I didn't need this yet, but I will need it when I drill into the other spot. This is the only other, this is really simple. Let's go ahead and see if our sticker's coming off. And it is coming off like a champ. Grab a little bit more. Put some fingernail to it. And this is really, I love Goo Gone. I would love Goodwill even more if they would put these stickers someplace not on the top of wherever wanting to buy something. I buy a lot of lamps from Goodwill for my Apartworks, and they always put it right on the surface of something. Maybe sometimes I bought a clock face, right on the clock face. Yeah, it's like, no, put it on the bottom, put it somewhere else. So I've got this. I'm gonna figure out where do I want it. I think I'm gonna put it to the side. Okay, I've got a paint marker. And position it where you want it, and you just push it down into there, and there it is. Now let's see if it'll give me back my, no! It wants to hold the tip. There we go. go. And now you can see, easy white dot right there where it's going to line up. So I could have got my 12-inch long drill bit that would have gone through both at the same time, but I thought, you know what, let's make this easy for everybody. What does everybody have? And we have just, this is simple snap-in attachment, nothing fancy, just let you get it a normal pack of drill bits. So get this positioned. Now I need my wood block because obviously it's going to go through. And that was it. So, what a lovely hole here, and my lovely hole here. Now I just need to get them to match up. I have pre-found a old bolt, short, got a couple washers to go with it. And this guy is pretty old because he's a flat screw. He's pretty old. So what we're going to need to do is, you might want to put this going this way where the bolt's on the bottom, and you don't actually want to do that. You want to feed it from the bottom. So I'm going to take the screw with the washer and push it through the back. Now if there's a little bit of kind of a extra metal there, you want to make sure you get that off. You can probably just use like a flat screwdriver just to get that off. All I have to do is, now I can lay it down and position on top. I'm going to put my bigger washer because I'm going to try and ratchet this down just a little bit. Now I need to push from the bottom because this is a very tight fit. There we go. I got this. I finally got it to grip. So, only other tools you need. So far, we're in for a small drill, a drill bit, extra piece of wood to drill into, pliers, which I'm going to now hold, that little bolt, and my flat screwdriver. Brought a Phillips just in case I happen to need it. Now, I've just got this off the edge of the table to make it a little bit easier. Got the screwdriver in there now because it was starting to spin on me. And I'm just tightening it up. Now, being that this is plastic, I can tighten it down quite a bit to make sure that it's not going to just come loose. One thing you may want to consider, and this was awfully tight, so I didn't really have that option, is another item you probably have around your house, and that is some super glue. There we go. I think that's tight enough. Now, you may want to put just a little bit of super glue on the threads before you start. I couldn't do that because it's really tight, but that'll help lock it into place. But this is pretty well there. It does spin just a little, so I'm probably going to need to tighten it just a little bit. Let's see. Can I? Nope, it's just going to spin. It's not actually loosening the bolt, but let's give you guys a peek. There you go. That's it. That's all there is to it. There's one problem. It's a little wobbly because now there's a bolt head on the bottom that raised it up just a little bit. So it's a little annoying. Okay, got a couple of solutions for that. One is, these are chair slides, and I could just put these on there. They're like a felt. You know, if you put them on the bottom of like your kitchen chair so they slide in and out easier. That's one option. And it's not the option I really prefer. But if these are all you have around the house and you don't want to go spend anything extra, they'll work. They just might, when you're on a slick surface like your countertops in the kitchen, when you're loading up your tray, it could be a little slippery. These guys. And they're a little big right now, but they're not as thick. Those are thicker. These are what you put underneath furniture so they don't slide like on hardwood floors. Now, obviously it's a little big, a little excessive. This would be great if this was underneath like a table, an end table. But I've got two of them. So far I've cut them in half, and I think I'm going to need to cut them in half another time. So I'm going to cut them into fourths. Nothing fabulous. So again, we're into a small drill with a small drill bit, a screwdriver, whichever you're going to need, Phillips or flat, a pliers, and a pair of scissors. Maybe some super glue, and that's about it. Oh, and your wood block. Now, I'm gonna lay this for the little parts on the edge there. And all I do is I'm going to make feet to put this on. And it doesn't mean that they have to be super precise, that thou shalt have them in exactly certain spots. So they do need to be evenly placed around. I'm gonna stack them. They are pretty sticky, so they should be fine. And heaven forbid they come unstuck. Well, you just figure out anything. You can revert back to the chair slides if necessary. I like the stick-on version because you could do other things, but you would probably have to screw through your top. And we're trying to make the top look nice. Who's gonna look at the bottom of your grilling tray? Seriously, who's gonna look at the bottom of your grilling tray? And if someone looks at the bottom of your grilling tray and comments, I don't know if they should be eating at your barbecue. Maybe you should not be serving them. It's my thought. So, these are nothing fancy. Again, super easy. Stuff I had around the house. And the last one. Now, give them all a good push one more time. And voila, no more wobble. It doesn't move, the table moves more than it does, and that's it. Now, there's one more thing, and it's pretty small, and it's whether it's a problem for you or not. At the bottom, where there's the bolt. Now, if you're a little OCD and you're like, I don't like how it's uneven like that, I don't like how it sticks out and it could, hurt something. Okay, so, you know how I like to reuse things. You've seen that before in a video. I've got the top to a candle. It's wooden, okay? You could do this, I would do this with anything wood, and I would probably use a paddle bit, but my paddle bits are currently at the shop, so bear with me. I've got a bigger drill bit. I'm just going to drill down. Let me move the tray so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. I don't need my wooden piece underneath this because I'm not going that far. I'm just going to give this kind of like an inset. I'm going to waller it around. There we go. So basically what I've done is I have taken my top to a candle that I'm not going to use again, and I've just drilled in a spot for it. And basically what that does is it creates a indentation for that bolt to fit into. So put that in there and voila, it's in there. Now, it's not critical that this is in there, but if you'd like it to be cushioned, you could. Another option you could do is to take like a silicone, like a hot pad, cut a circle to go in there, whatever shape you have. This is basically it. That's all there really is to making this tray. Now, it is so much handier. Now, when I go to clean up, I can literally put everything I carried out, in multiple trips, mind you, all in one. There we go. It's all put away now. So this is gonna make it so much easier. Well, when you're going to a barbecue, don't bring this stuff, bring your barbecue stuff. The other thing to consider, a couple of things, is I chose materials that are easy to clean. Okay, don't use wicker. You can't clean it, because if you're bringing out the meat onto this tray and meat juices got onto here, or you put your utensils back in here and they've touched, raw meat, we don't want anybody to get sick. And so obviously choose a material that you can clean easily. And so even though this is a cheap, literally $5 tray I got at Goodwill, but literally you can buy these at Walmart, really cheap, dollar stores. They're not very pricey, but that's not the point. It's a barbecue. We're not trying to, show off to our neighbors and the Joneses of how fancy our trays are. No, this is supposed to be mega functional, and that's what it is. And it's easy to clean. Same thing with this guy. Worst case scenario, oh no, I need to tray this out, or I don't like this. You could easily unbolt it and bolt something else in. Another option would be one of those kind of like a organizer. They usually have like 6 spots. Sometimes they're used for like beverages, like a beer holder, or that you can use them for silverware holders. Those would also be really good. Imagine how much you could carry out. Nice thing also is you can use this multiple ways. You can carry your stuff out, all your utensils, but then also you can carry in, once you've got your final product, you can also carry things back in, again, watching for that contamination. So that's it. I absolutely love this idea, and I love the one that I made a year ago, and I think I might actually use it today. It rained yesterday for lunch. Today, the weather is fabulous. So I think I'll be having my lunch over there in just a little bit. So glad you guys could join me today. Hope this helps you and makes your grilling even better and makes it a better experience for you. Anyway, great seeing you guys. See you next time. Bye.